Tom, how did you open the deli, or how did you get into it?
Well, it was quite interesting. After corporate for 25 years, I left and screwed my head back on, and literally people would walk up to me and say, well, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm opening a deli in Estes Park. And they would look at me strange and say, why? And I said, well, number one, because there isn't one. Number two, I'm good with people. I'd have fun with people, and I'd really make a lot of hay doing it. So with that in mind, I said, I'm going for it. And people would look at me as though I was somewhat strange, knowing my background of 25 years and all over the country and doing everything corporately that was called for. They said, how is he going to survive this thing at the pace he's traveling at in Estes Park, which is not corporate and which is not fast, and he's going to die. I said, very simply, get on my face, leave me alone. If I fail, I fail. It's okay, okay. So that was it. I opened the deli, and 8 months later, the Food Channel found me. So with that in mind, it was wonderful. Because when the Food Channel found me, I took off. And all the naysayers quickly fell to the side, and I could play all I want in the deli.
So Tom, do you have any other great stories, like customers or anything like that?
One pops out. It was my first year in the deli, and I was working alone. So aside from losing 35 pounds in 3 months, which was Italian aerobics left and right, very simply, one day I had 4 guys sitting in the back, and they were having a hell of a time. They had a ball, and they were having fun, which is really what the deli is all about. Having fun, coming in, enjoying the experience, and eating well. So meanwhile, I'm delivering 4 plates to these 4 guys. And this woman walked in and all of a sudden said, "Excuse me, do you have any Wisconsin cheddar cheese soup?" And I looked at her and I said, "What state are you in?" And she said, "Oh, Colorado." I said, "Wrong state, honey. I'm so sorry. We have no Wisconsin cheddar cheese soup." So with that, she exited and left. So I went about my business and I was doing this and doing this. And 4 guys were still sitting there. They had snickered a little bit when she came in. But more importantly, about a half an hour later, she walked in again. And she looked at me and said, "Do you have any tiramisu?" And I looked at her. I said, "Boy, lady, you are striking out all over the place. I do not have any tiramisu. I do not have any Wisconsin cheddar cheese soup. So I'm so sorry, but you will have to go away." So she says to me, "Well, I'm from Iowa, and I'm just out walking around." That was it. And meanwhile, the 4 guys in the booth were going absolutely ballistic with laughter. And I looked right at them while she was still here, and I said, "Shut up, shut up." And she left, and they just laughed, and I laughed too. So that was the story of the lady from Iowa.
Great. Tom, my favorite is the chicken run. You have a great story about the chicken salad. I'd love to hear it.
Yes, I do. You know, it's funny. You see these little old ladies come in who are very sweet and very demure and very, very nice. But then they look at me and they say, "What do you put in your chicken salad?" And I go, "Ooh." I said, "Chicken." "What do you mean, ma'am?" "Of course, chicken." And they say, "You don't put any grapes or onions or anything like that, do you? And I said, chicken. And so with that in mind, they're still skeptical, and they'll look at me and say, is your bread really fresh? And I tell them, you know, ma'am, we've chopped that top layer of mold off. It's a lot sweeter now. And they look at me like this. No. And I say, no. Eat the damn chicken salad, you love it. And that was it. That's the chicken salad story.
Thanks a lot.